Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jessup, your host of Jessup's Gaming Channel, and today I'm going to be talking about the PC Master Race and computers in general. Now, before we get into all of that, I'd like to address the gameplay that's currently on your screen right now. This wasn't the best game for me. In the beginning, I was kind of, pretty bad. Died a couple times here and there. Only got 1 or 2 kills. But later on is when I started picking it up and started getting on kill streaks and stuff like that. I just wanted to address that. Anyways, let's move on back to our topic of today's video. PC Master Race. What is it and why are we talking about it? It's pretty simple, actually. For those of you who do not know, PC Master Race is a group of people that share the same ideals of the computer, or PC. And these ideals would be that PCs in general, if not every single time, will always win over a console. Now, I can respect that. PCs are in their own right very strong, very powerful machines. They can be built so they're portable. They can be built to be $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 monster computers that just rip through numbers and graphics and all sorts of things. There's tons of computers built for hacking, built for data mining, hashing, a whole bunch of different stuff. Now, I get why a lot of people say computers are the best. In fact, there's no reason to ever have a console. And I used to share that same ideal. Like 3-4 years ago, something like that. I used to be die-hard PC fan. And over the last 3-4 years, I've slowly come to realize that PCs aren't what everyone made me think they were. They're not the best for everything, and I've slowly realized that. The reason why I say this is because over the years, like I said, I've found multiple reasons and situations to use a console over a PC when it comes to gaming. Now, in no way is a console ever going to beat a PC when it comes to multitasking, when it comes to heavy CPU needed applications like Photoshop or anything like that, stuff that I use daily. For example, recording this video. Sure, I could do it on a console, but I'd have to buy a capture card and a bunch of other stuff, and I'd eventually have to stream it all through a PC to edit it. When on PC, I can just play the game, record it, put my voice over it, blah, 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 blah. You know the details. So, like I said, there are situations where consoles are better than PC, and I can give you, excuse me, burping, and I can give you one of those right now. I used to have a friend who was a trucker. He did this job for about 2.5 years, something like that. And he was on the road constantly. He was easily doing, 400 or 500 miles a day, something like that, easily. And he was a PC Master Race individual such as myself. He loved PC. He was into hardware just like me. He built tons of computers. He built his own computer, which is actually easier than most people think. We're not going to get onto that. That'll be for a different video where I can teach you how to build one. Anyways, he was a PC Master Race individual like myself. However, since he was on the road so often, he couldn't game on his computer. He would need to bring a monitor, he'd need to bring the actual tower itself, he'd need to bring a keyboard, a mouse, a controller, a headset, all this stuff. Just way too much. So eventually, he settled for a console. I believe the PlayStation 4, if I remember correctly. And that allowed him, because it was so small and so portable, that allowed him to take it with his truck, and whenever he'd stop off at a motel or someplace where they offered a TV and some internet, in most cases no internet, he'd be able to plug in his console, pick up his controller, and start playing his games. He tried out a laptop for a while, but then he sort of realized that as great as laptops are, most laptops aren't going to beat consoles. Now, when I say that, the reason for this is because most people don't want to spend a lot of money on a laptop. No one wants to spend $800-900 on a laptop when they can buy a $200-300 Chromebook that does the exact same thing except it doesn't game. It'll do everything else, it just won't game. Now, that was his big dilemma. He bought this gaming laptop for about $1,200. So you must think to yourself, oh, it must be great, stuff like that. Not so really. Laptop components aren't the best. And not to mention, this thing was a hulking beast. This thing was upwards of like 6-7 pounds, and this thing would overheat like crazy, and he just couldn't deal with it anymore. So he bought a PlayStation, and ever since he bought one, it just completely changed his views on console versus PC, just permanently. He now recognizes, like myself, that consoles have their place in the gaming community, I guess you would say. Now, again, you need to remember, this video isn't about how I hate consoles or I hate PC or which one's better, vice versa. It's more of there are places for both, and people need to realize this. Sure, you can like PCs all you want, but you don't need to bash consoles. Consoles are there for one reason: talk to friends and play video games. Technically, that's two reasons, but the main reason is play video games. PCs are much, much more. They're multitasking monsters. They can use applications that are meant for, I don't know, Photoshop. That's an example. PCs can use Photoshop and edit pictures to create these gorgeous landscapes and awesome things that you would have never dreamed. Well, on a console, it's not meant for that. Stop trying to compare bananas to oranges. It just doesn't work. Bananas are meant for something else. Oranges are meant for something else. They don't have the same taste. Sure, they're a fruit. They share that in common. But other than that, there's not much. Sure, they may have seeds. Sure, they may have, I don't know, a peel on the outside. But really, that's it. They don't taste the same. They don't do the same thing. Don't compare consoles to PCs. If you really wanted to do that, you would compare more of PCs to phones or laptops, because realistically in this day and age, phones are mini computers, like supercomputers in your hand. Most people don't realize that. So that's what I'm just trying to get at with this video. Stop hating on something because everyone else shares the same view. Stop following everyone else, I guess I can say. Realize that in certain situations things are better. There is never going to be a one-size-fits-all device for all your needs. There's sure, you could say PC, but then you're going into really expensive price ranges. Sure, you could build a PC that's as small as a console, but it's going to cost a lot if you want more power than a console. You can look it up on YouTube and online and Google and stuff like that. There are computers out there like that, but look at the price tag. They're way more expensive than a console. Sure, you can buy used parts and stuff like that to, I don't know, get the price down as a console, but a lot of the times for a very portable machine, you're not going to be able to beat the $400 price tag that most of these machines are at. If I remember correctly, I went down to Best Buy, what was it, like a week ago, and we were looking at the prices of the PlayStations and Xbox because we were just walking by, and I noticed that they had a PlayStation on sale for like $400 or something like that. $400 for a PlayStation? That's incredibly cheap. I couldn't get a computer that would run half as well as that unless I was buying used parts. Brand new parts in a computer the same size as a PlayStation for $400? That's just impossible. Not to mention, that comes with a $60 controller in it, and most of those come with a free game. So, it's kind of hard to beat that. But like I said, this isn't advocating consoles over PC, and this isn't advocating PCs over consoles. This is more of a broaden your view sort of video. Realize that PCs aren't built for everything, and consoles aren't built for everything, so stop comparing them. It's just that simple. There are more things I could talk about, but this video isn't long enough. I believe this clip is only like 11 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. Yeah, 11 minutes long. So there's not too much to talk about. I'm already 9 minutes into this rant, so I would only have, 2 minutes left to say stuff. And that wouldn't give me enough time to go through all the pros and cons of PCs and consoles. Maybe later on I could redo this video and have an extremely long list of what situations a PC would be better than a console and what situations a console would be better than a PC. And if you really do want something like that, you can go ahead and write in the comments, say, yo, I want this, yo, I want that, blah, blah, blah. I'll try and cater to your needs because, let's be honest, you make the channel, not me. The viewers are what makes a channel, I guess, popular, well, not popular, better. I could make these videos forever and have hundreds of thousands, but if I get no viewers, then the channel's not really gonna go anywhere. It's really you guys. So like I said, comment down below on what you would like to see more in these videos. Comment or like the video to show your support, and go ahead and dislike it if you don't like the video. But I mean, if you're gonna dislike it, might as well give some constructive criticism. Even it says, "Ha, you suck," blah 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 blah, go fuck your mom, stuff like that. That's perfectly fine, honestly. It's just casual flaming, and I deal with that daily, so it's not that big of a deal, honestly. All I ask is, if for some reason in the back of your head you think I could do something better, go ahead and put it down. Because I want to get better for my viewers, I want to get better. I want this channel to grow. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. And this video is pretty much over. So comment, like, subscribe. Put your mind down in the comments, and I will read them, and I will try and change myself to something that you guys will enjoy more. I wanted to thank you. So thank you very much for watching this video. And my name is Jessup, and I'm signing off.